Hey everybody, Chris Clark here, and welcome to Chase for the Championship Tournament Edition. We are here in Greensboro, where in just a couple of hours, we're going to have all these ACC teams coming here battling one another and start whittling them down until we crown a champion this week. And man, we got a great show for you. We're talking Duke on day one. That's right, I said Duke on a Tuesday. That's right, the Blue Devils are here. We're going to hear from Coach K. Also, a report on what's going on in South Bend. Can Notre Dame get right? And the Pitt Panthers stumble into the postseason. They're missing some key players, but they're also looking to make a nice little run here, but still dangerous. And the sleeper team of the day, the shorthanded Hurricanes. We're going to hear from Jim Larrañaga in Miami and why they're picked to actually beat those Pitt Panthers. All that plus the odds from Covers.com on who they think will hoist the trophy this weekend. And we're going to start things off here with the Duke Blue Devils. That's no way to say this thing. They recruit great. They've got the talent. They've got everything that they need over in Durham. They've got the pedigree and the tradition. They just don't have the record for this bad boy right about now. And I don't think anybody saw this season coming for Coach K, especially with the talent they had, and, well, one that, well, let's just say got away from him in Jalen Johnson this year. They're a 10th seed coming into this ACC tourney, and that's not some place that the Duke Blue Devils are used to being. And not just that, a 10th seed that was just run off the court by North Carolina just a few days ago. They also lost to Georgia Tech and Louisville before that, and it looked as though the baby Blue Devils were getting their act together late in the season with a late win streak, but, you know, not quite. The team has talent, just not the veteran experience they need, especially at a time like this. Now, the bad part is the only thing they can do is to keep going, keep plowing ahead, and keep going through and get there and learn on the job. The good news is they're playing the worst team in the league right off the top in Boston College. Coach K gave us a little bit of knowledge on how the best way it is to make it through this ACC tournament.
To do well in it, to win it, we've won it a number of times. It's been an honor to do it there. You know, I think in order to win, you can't look at the tournament as a whole. You just have to play your next opponent, and that's it. And then win, and then try to win again. You know, if you try to look at the whole thing, it can become daunting.
Their opponent, the Boston College Eagles, know they're a long shot to win this tournament. They're ranked dead last after all, and it's been a tough season. They know running the table is highly unlikely, but running a team off the court for one game, now that's doable. And if there ever was a team to catch at the right time, it's Duke. Like I said, their last game was an abomination against the Tar Heels. The team is full of young guys. That feeling, you know, that down and out feeling might carry over, that hangover. And let's not forget, Boston College almost beat Duke in an 83-82 loss back in early January. The Eagles might not be good at winning, but they're great from three. Don't turn the ball over all that often, and they've got the ability to light up the Blue Devils from outside.
It's a new season. This is a brand new season, and that's kind of how we approach it. Everybody is 0-0, and usually the teams that have, you know, really improved, and I think we're getting better. I think we're playing some of our best basketball right now. And I think, you know, we talk a little bit about what it's going to take to win. The most important game usually in this conference tournament is the first game, because it's the next game, and that first game, you know, you want to be, you know, ready for. You want to be looking ahead to anything else. But the task at hand is that first game. We're going to prepare.
Now, looking ahead just a little bit here, the winner of that Duke and Boston College game is going to have to face the Louisville Cardinals. That's tomorrow at 6:30. And Louisville, now they've looked like the class of the league at times, and they've looked like the worst team in the league at times. So to find out what's going on over in Louisville and what we're going to get from the Cardinals, we'll turn things over to Blake Sandlin, who's been covering the team all year. Blake?
Saturday's season finale for the Louisville Cardinals had massive implications for the ACC tournament. A win against 21st ranked Michigan could have given Louisville a double bye in this week's tournament, but the Cavaliers had other plans. Virginia handed Louisville a 68-58 home loss, spoiling their chance at a double bye and relegating them to the 7th seed. The Cards had no answer for Virginia's Sam Hauser on Saturday. Hauser went for a career-high 24 points for the Cavaliers. And for Louisville, David Johnson had a team-high 14 points, but the Cards once again could not get over the hump against a Virginia team that has won 11 of the last 12 meetings. Up next for Louisville, a second-round ACC tournament game on Wednesday against the winner of Duke and Boston College. Covering the Louisville Cardinals, I'm Blake Sandlin.
And the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, they're heading into this ACC tournament with just a little bit of steam in their stride. They finished out the regular season taking down the top team in the league. I'm talking about the Florida State Seminoles. I don't think anybody saw that one coming, but the Notre Dame Fighting Irish got it done. And in just the right amount of time, they were feeling kind of good about themselves. And well, Mike Brey is probably feeling that hot seat right about now, too, because of the recent events make him one of the guys that might or might not have a job next year, depending on, well, how the wind blows out there. It's a little tough sometimes. But to find out the latest on what's going on with Notre Dame, we're going to turn things over to Dave Griffiths, who's been covering the Irish for us. Dave?
Notre Dame enters the ACC tournament coming off perhaps its best performance and certainly its most impressive win of the season, an 83-73 victory over 11th-ranked Florida State. As Mike Brey put it, what a difference a couple days makes. The Irish had dropped 4 straight, losing a couple late leads in the process, and were all but limping into the postseason. Can this one win turn things around? Well, that's to be determined, but one thing's for sure. This Notre Dame team has already answered the bell multiple times throughout the year.
I think, you know, the character of the young people we have, they're great kids, man. And, you know, I mean, we've been available for every game this season. We've played 18 games. Miami's actually played 19. I think we're the only team to play 10 road games. And you know, it's neat to see a group of guys kind of rally and do it. And you still get a chance to do it. You know, you still get a chance to do it, you know, as you head to Greensboro.
Notre Dame opens the ACC tournament Tuesday night against Wake Forest. The Irish beat the Demon Deacons by 21 points in South Bend earlier this year. Covering the Irish, I'm Dave Griffiths.
Game tips off at 7 p.m. To cap the day, Wake Forest, yeah, that's right, suffered through a lot of growing pains in that first year under Steve Forbes. COVID hit the program early in the season. Play on the court was, well, it's disappointing at times. Danny Harnden covering the Demon Deacons for us. Danny, what do you got?
Steve Forbes just didn't see his first year as Wake Forest basketball coach going this way. Yes, the Deacons were picked to finish last in the ACC preseason poll, but his version saw something a little better than that. But the losses started mounting up, and after a 21-point whooping by Notre Dame on February 2nd, Forbes had to get something off his chest.
The root of the problem with our team is that we just have a team that's infected with the disease of me. We have way too many players on this team that are more concerned about scoring. And when they don't score, they bring nothing else to the table. And that's a problem. And when I walk in the locker room and losing doesn't really hurt that bad, that's why I'm here. I'm here to fix that problem, and fix it I will.
Things seemed to get better, at least in the short term. The Deacons showed some spunk with a win against Boston College and almost pulled off a major upset against Florida State. Optimism for the future was there.
I think it's a sign of things to come for this program. Again, it's a really, really good coaching staff. Probably the best I've been around in my 5 years, and I've been at a lot of places.
But the heartbreaking loss to FSU seemed to steal a lot of the energy from this team. And down the stretch, the Deacons lost their last 7 games. It was really wearing on Coach Forbes.
I'm disappointed. I am, and I apologize. This is hard for me because I haven't seen this before, and I really haven't seen this out of my team. You know, they've always played pretty hard, no matter what, win or lose. And right now, they're getting deflated quickly and early, and they're losing their fight.
Isaiah Musius is one of the top players on the team and a vocal leader in this program. He says this week in Greensboro means new life.
As a leader, I have to continue just to push the guys and remind them, like those games where even if we lost, we fought every single possession. So we just got to get back to that and playing hard every single possession, because the ACC tournament is coming up. Anything can happen. Like I have faith in all the confidence in my world that we can make a run if we play the right basketball.
That's one of those squads you definitely want to keep an eye on because they can come in here and definitely do some damage, especially early on day one. Now, after a disappointing season, the Pitt Panthers kind of limp into Greensboro, looking to kind of rearrange and change and make a run in the ACC tournament themselves. Now, with the players that they had, including Justin Champagnie, many thought the guys from Steel City would just dominate. And while they are tough as nails, they're going to need that toughness and a little luck if they're going to have any chance after losing two of their top guys. That sub-500 record made most shrug, but win here and you get a new lease on the season. Now, these two teams met once this year in the Panthers ACC opener when Pitt won a 70-55 game. The question is, what, if anything, can you take from a game with Miami that early in the season? The answer, not much, unfortunately.
You know, it's two teams that are very, very different. They've been hit with a lot of injuries, probably more so than anyone this year. We are a completely different team. At that point, we had 13 scholarship guys. And so we're excited about the opportunity to play them. They're a talented team. Wong has been one of the better players in our league as an all-ACC guy. They have talent. They haven't won. They've, haven't won as much as I'm sure they would have liked to, but they still are a very talented team, especially on the offensive end.
Pitt Panthers tangle with the Miami Hurricanes in just a couple of hours here. That is the first game of the afternoon, first of the tournament. Hopefully it's a good one. Get things set off in a good way here. And with the Panthers missing two of their top guys, the Hurricanes are looking at this as a prime opportunity to get a win in this ACC tournament. Unlike the Panthers, who are still adjusting to the loss of their second and third leading scorers, Xavier Johnson and Audis Toney, the Miami Hurricanes have been playing and sometimes winning without their best players all year long. Playing shorthanded, playing long minutes, that's nothing new to this squad. I mean, that's just another day. And all the extra time on the court is valuable experience to a Hurricanes team that is ready for the challenge, especially after dropping 80 points on Boston College to close out the season with a big win. That was huge.
To me, this was a huge game. We're going to be able to go into the ACC tournament, feel a lot better about ourselves than we did this last few days. We get a win, which ends the losing streak. But once you go into the ACC tournament, everybody's record is the same, 0-0. So if we could somehow score 80 points again, I'd be very, very happy and be optimistic that would give us a chance to win the game.
And checking the odds for all the people wondering out there, we checked in with Jason Logan at Covers.com. He sent us the latest on who the smart money is on to win this thing. At the top, Florida State. That's followed up by Virginia. Then comes North Carolina, Louisville, and Virginia Tech. Both check in at plus 650. After that, things get a little bit dicey there. Georgia Tech at plus 1,000. Both Clemson and Duke are at plus 2,000. Syracuse and Notre Dame round out this bracket at plus 4,000 and plus 5,000. And near the bottom, we got the long shots in there. Gotta love all the long shots. I'm talking about Pittsburgh, NC State, Miami, and finally Boston College and Wake Forest rounding this thing out at plus 20,000. And before we leave here, it wouldn't be complete if we didn't take some time to honor some of the standout players, the guys that gave their blood, gave their sweat, and sometimes their tears to make these games great for us. And we're going to start with the player of the year, and that's somebody the people in the Raleigh area know well, and that is Moses Wright. We're talking about a kid here that is a straight monster. Believe it or not, he went to Georgia Tech having played only 1 year of high school basketball, third in the conference in both points and rebounds, and keyed the Surging Jackets to a 15-8 overall record and a fourth-place finish in the final ACC regular season standings, shooting 54.4% from the floor, which is always a welcome sight, and the second Georgia Tech player to earn ACC Player of the Year honors. The first since, I'll give you, it was 1990. Anybody out there? It was Dennis Scott. I'll go ahead and lead you to that. And that leads us to our All-ACC first team. There's Moses Wright. He's joined on that first team by Louisville's Carlik Jones, who averaged 17 points per game. Pittsburgh's Justin Champagnie, who averaged 18.4 and just over 11 rebounds. And, of course, you got Duke's Matthew Hurt on there, as well as Virginia's Sam Hauser. ACC Freshman of the Year, that's Florida State's Scotty Barnes. He helped the Seminoles to a second-place ACC finish while averaging just under 10.5 points and 4.3 rebounds. Fifth among conference players in assists with 4.3 per game. Barnes, who averaged 24 minutes per contest, also ranks 4th among ACC players in the assist-turnover ratio and is tied for 6th in the steals per game. And we're not also talking about just him, but the all-freshman team as well. Joining Barnes, all-freshman squad, Duke guard DJ Stewart, and, of course, Day'Ron Sharpe. And let's not forget Caleb Love of North Carolina and his teammate Jalen Winters as well. And let's also keep going on here for the Defensive Player of the Year. It's the guy that brought the emotions, Georgia Tech senior guard Jose Alvarado, Defensive Player of the Year for the ACC. Alvarado leads this ACC in steals with 66 in 23 games. Think about that, 66 in 23 games, helping Georgia Tech to share of a team lead in that category. And the ACC's most improved player is someone familiar to Duke fans. We're talking about Duke sophomore Matthew Hurt, voted the ACC's most improved player. Hurt leads the conference in scoring at 18.7 and pulled in 6.2 rebounds per after averaging just 9.7 and 3.8 rebounds last season. I'd definitely say that's some heavy improvement. And for Coach of the Year, it's Virginia Tech's Mike Young. In his second year with the Hokies, Young guided a team picked for an 11th place finish to a third place overall tournament seed. That was 11th place in the preseason. It's only the second time the Hokies have been the third seed in the ACC tournament. First was 2007. This is the first time they've actually been awarded the double bye since the tourney expanded to 15 teams in 2014. Number 3 seed ties Virginia Tech's highest ever earned in the ACC tournament. This is just the third time the ACC Coach of the Year honoree has come from Virginia Tech. First time since 2008. Anybody out there? That was Seth Greenberg, everybody. That was that coach. And finally, 6th man of the year. Also, freshman of the year. Barnes, 53 votes for freshman of the year. North Carolina's Day'Ron Sharpe placed second with 10. 6th man of the year voting was a bit closer. Barnes receiving 39 votes, followed up by Sharpe, who had 24. And that's it for Chase for the Championship here. Playoff edition, ACC Tournament edition here live in Greensboro. We're going to be live tomorrow. That's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday every morning at 11 to kind of recap the night before and set the table for the coming day for all of your ACC basketball action. And then Saturday, we're going to have a 6:30 show to get you ready for that ACC Championship game for hopefully your favorite team. I'm tearing up here because, quite honestly, I never thought I'd be back here after getting thrown out last season due to COVID. I'm just happy there's basketball back in my life right now. That's it, everybody. Enjoy the games today.